said, well, how about you self-fund it? They go, I don't have the money. I go, no, self-make it. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, how much do you make if you list a home and sell it? He said, 12 grand. I said, okay. And how big of a loan do you want? He said, 120 grand. I said, so you're telling me all you need to do is list and sell 10 homes and you made your loan? He goes, oh, I never thought of it that way. I go, yeah, so maybe just list homes.
Welcome back to another episode of the Reside Platform podcast. And today joining me is my illustrious co-host and co-founder of Reside Platform, Nick McLean. Nick, how are you?
Good.
So it's funny with this podcast for everyone out there, Nick and I were talking, is usually it's like we schedule it out and all this. And me and Nick talk probably too much, but we're not bullshitting when we talk. So, but I'm well, let's film. Okay, let's just do it. I'm all, oh, well, I was just putting it out there. Like, I didn't really know. So now that we did, what did we talk about? And I think we have so many great listeners who've been following for so long. I think we should just give an update on what's happening in the real estate industry, what's happening with Reside and coaching and events, and just talk. So, Nick, I don't know. It's June 9th. And how's real estate in Wenatchee, Washington?
Yeah, real estate in Wenatchee, Washington, I think a lot like a lot of marketplaces, especially on the West Coast, we're still low inventory. However, inventory is rising, outpacing the demand. Finally, and it's like, be careful what you wish for. Finally,
right?
So there's this like flux of, are we targeting buyers or are we targeting sellers? You know, which one are we targeting? Well, we tend to target sellers always. If I learned anything from you, always go for the sellers. But then with that, with demand on the buyer side going down, it's like, but if you have a buyer, it's very valuable now. It's very like if you have a motivated, qualified buyer,
sure,
very, very valuable. You know, in my marketplace, anything over $1 million, which would be 2 times the average sales price. So, you know, you can equate that to your marketplace, 2 times your average.
Yeah, really. And you have a lot of those listings, huh? You've been
30 months
up.
And
damn.
Seattle is 2 hours away. They usually buy those homes. So we're not seeing that transplant. Did you see that in Sacramento about a year ago or so? Like the Bay Area not coming to Sacramento?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing that you've been hearing your whole life is, oh, this will eventually be a part of Sacramento, of the Bay Area, right? Yeah, so I haven't seen it. There's different parts of Sacramento that are growing, kind of the Roseville area, which I know you've been to, and towards Yuba City, my hometown. But I would say the same. And, you know, I'm not watching the luxury market because I'm not. You have more luxury listings than I do. I have a lot of regular old listings.
Yeah.
But I think we may have a couple luxury and the inventory is increasing, but I'll keep stacking listings every friggin' day. Right. And then you talk about having great buyers and, okay, well, where do you get more great buyers? Are the leads are the people you're putting in escrow right now, Nick, are they old leads or are they new leads?
You nailed it. I was going to talk about leads. It's like, where do you focus on the leads? The buyers we're putting on contract, surprisingly, we're working with developers. Surprisingly, we're working with developers or investors backed by private equity groups.
You're buying stuff like that.
So they're buying land and planning on developing. So even though there's this, who knows what's going to happen, you know, with the election and Trump and lower energy and all these other things, there's some optimism on the other end.
Yeah, because I heard something about the jobs report too last week, but then I never looked.
Yeah, so we're working that side. We just landed a 41 lot subdivision that they're going to be building homes, 41 lots.
So, you did? That's awesome. That's what you get for being Nick, in his town, guys. His phone just rings.
And you know, they found us on a
Shocker.
Just by Google.
I am.
Yeah, you are. Right?
You are. Yep.
So I think that's what's working for us. You know, we had our lender on, working with our lender partners, talking about loan programs. Is back in that's training that we stopped doing. And we stopped doing that because everyone got a loan. But now it's like, how do we get them a loan, educate them on it, see the long-term value of home ownership, down payment assistant programs. We're talking about down payment assistant programs. We're talking about 3-to-1, 2-to-1 buy downs, 2-to-1 buy downs, lender paid credits. Like we are deal making like never before.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're giving me ideas. I'm on, well, I own a mortgage company. And where were my LOs last week at the meeting? Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. My one guy, he was the first agent on my team and moved over to the mortgage. He's been a LO for 18 months, last 6 months, 6, 7 pending every fucking day. Just boom. He's so happy he doesn't have to go out and show houses.
Well, I don't know anything about the loan officers. Yeah, he probably is really happy. Like he's sitting about wiped
They
out.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it was brutal.
It was brutal since rates have gone up.
Oh, brutal.
Well,
I had so many who quit.
And I bet. And now
became realtors.
Like, they became realtors and now they're not doing so hot. But hey.
Yeah, everyone can get it done, right? Well, right now we're stacking listings with our open door thing, which is awesome. Zillow Flex is always solid. Shout out to Zillow. RDC has been good for us. Lately there's been more radio stuff, which is exciting. Shout out to Matt Wagner. And for every viewer and listener, Matt Wagner runs Rate, Radio and Television Experts. And about 20 episodes, I had him on and talk to him. So if you want to learn more about radio, go do a rewind. And just random other sources too. Like I'll look and there'll be like some new source, not necessarily paid, but some organic source, which is cool, right? We go, oh, well, what's that?
That reminds me of this morning's meeting. So every day we have a morning meeting with our Reside team.
Yes.
Suneet and I love doing these meetings with the Reside operations staff because they're the ones servicing and consulting our Reside clients, and they're high-level people. These people
high level. Brittany, Brooke, yeah.
Amazing people. And for those listeners out there, that just goes to show I like the 3-to-1 employee is someone good will do the work of a good person. Someone great will do 3 times the output of a good person. And you don't have to pay them 3 times as much, but you do have to pay them more.
You do.
And you have to pay them like a top performer, but you're going to get unbelievable.
Which is easy to do because they're happy.
They're happy.
And you're happy by having great people work for you, right?
And there's point.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were having this meeting this morning. And this is a good story for everyone listening because we got a lead. Someone went to the
website. Number 1, signed up found the website. Number 2, filled out a booking link.
A booking link through a calendar.
Yes.
Calendar. Now think about this for your agent. Someone goes to your website, books an appointment on your agent's calendar to go list their home, to tour their home.
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
Amazing.
So Paul, our salesperson's like, I got this appointment today. And we're like, instantly, Suneet's thinking, where'd it come from? He jumps in the CRM. He's looking at the traffic. He's looking at the tracking links. He's looking at the pixels, right? We're geeking out over it. We have to figure it out. Is it our mailing list?
Yes.
Is it our email mailing list? Whose mailing list was it? Was it a webinar? Was it what was it, Suneet? After all,
it was organic search.
Organic search found our website.
Huge.
So I don't know how. The moral of this story is it reminds me of like the source. When you get business, a client raising their hand, reaching out to you, you need to dive down into that source. And it's attribute for me.
So this costs them too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, totally. I mean, attribution, maybe in broader terms, isn't possible. But if somebody came to you off of Zillow, that's a Zillow lead. They did not find you, right? So once you get into like Google and they're not paying to fill a form, it's different. Right?
Where do you think that organic traffic came from? I mean, I know at Reside where we have this podcast, we have YouTube channel, we do webinars, we do email, social media, affiliations with other businesses.
Yeah, we have a website with content on it. Everyone listening, we're about to launch our new website. It's going to be sharp. It's been this huge, massive project.
Cool.
So that should increase traffic. But yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, I don't know. I think about how to get more traffic like all day long
Yeah.
to everything, you know? Like every time somebody posts on social, you're trying to get some kind of traffic to at least like your face. I don't know. I am.
Yeah. I think that's the number one job of a team leader is eyeballs, marketer,
Eyeballs. Yeah,
being loud, posting. I do see a lot of our Reside clients posting online now.
a lot.
A lot. I see them on my Facebook feed all the time. So what's happening at the Reside platform, Suneet? I
Well,
mean,
I
we're
want to
going
ask
on
you
2 years.
about your emails though, before you
Okay.
change the subject to talk about posting. So if everyone who watches this probably is on your email list. If not, where do they sign up again? What's the link to sign up? You still got that
Yeah.
nickmclean.com, the branded site
Yeah.
that the guy made you?
No, I don't. It's hard to get on my mailing list now. It's really hard to get on my
Okay.
newsletter.
So just sign up for my newsletter and I'll just send you a filter to Nick's emails.
Well, I know Brittany of the Reside platform will be sending out a weekly newsletter. We do, and
Oh,
in the weekly newsletter, it's going to have the top content that I write, the top content that you write, the top content that John writes. Even
that's
for breath.
cool.
Yeah, so go to the Reside platform to sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. So what's been going on at Reside? Well, we had a 2-year anniversary.
Pretty
Wow.
amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Hmm.
We had our 2-year anniversary. And the number one, the community has grown in ways that I may have envisioned back then, but I never like actually, I envisioned what the vibe would be, but I never actually like, felt. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
sometimes in my content, right, like building a business is like building something greater than yourself, right? Especially the fact that we got to do it with each other and John and Preston and other great team members compared to like the other hustle. So, and then just the growth we've seen for people. It's been cool to see all the success stories. And I don't know, like what we said and did and taught others will work for others.
Hmm.
And that's what we're here for, right? For everybody who decides to work with us.
Yeah, we were when we first launched. It was a concept that we believed in, a platform for team leaders to go to and learn how to recruit, right? Build your team, um, grow and scale it. But there's all these other things that happen in every step of along the ways. Like every level has its own devil, operations, transaction management, listing coordinators, recruiters,
Yeah.
marketing, lead gen.
VAs,
Yeah.
leads.
How many of our clients that reside are now part of Zillow Flex? So they're figuring out Zillow Flex and
Dude,
scaling that
ton. Yeah.
system. I would love to talk about how many people have joined Zillow Flex at the Reside platform. And
It's a
it's
lot.
like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
was it
dude.
really? Now
To
it's,
put it
and we
all
were
under one
listening.
thing. To put it all under one thing
Yeah,
is
all under one thing.
very unique. It's
Yeah.
the only thing like it.
And so when we were on these discovery calls, if you remember the early discovery calls, we were telling them how much it costs and what they get, and at the end of the day, they're like, "Well, I understand the cost, I see the value, but will I get a return?" We're like, "Will it work?
Mm,
It worked for you or for your other clients, but will it work for me? Like it worked for you, it worked for them, but will it work for me?"
yeah.
And we just had to say, you have to trust us. After 2 years, I get on discovery calls with Paul, and I'm like, it's proven.
Yeah.
We have 2 years of history now where, let me tell you about Jessica. Let me tell you about Ross Hardy. Let me talk about Kathy Courtney. Let me tell you about these people, where they
Yeah.
were.
The list goes on. It's incredible.
Talking
It's
to
about
Alex,
way to go.
he's like, you know what? It's not what I thought. He says, it's a lot of work. There's a
Yeah.
lot. I value the camaraderie and the knowledge. And
Dude, the
he's,
leadership development is like almost like a hard and soft skill at the same time to teach somebody.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so I think the only way to get it is to be immersed in it.
Yeah, with other people.
That's a tweet right there. I hope. Where's
Yeah,
John? Where's my admin?
yeah, leadership's hard to learn from a book. It's hard to learn from a book. You learn it by doing it, but you also learn it by
You
having.
learn it by sucking or by modeling. And I learned it by sucking hard for a long time, trying everything, and then just
Mhm.
figuring out how to be a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah. What have we what are we currently doing at Reside as we move forward that's making an impact?
I mean, I think like some of the really cool stuff is the whole community that we've built on the online community inside of Circle. I think that's really cool with, all my AI stuff in there, which is, if you guys know me, a lot. You got, if you're just following me on social, you just get a little taste. But all the AI stuff, the onboarding, like built out for you onboarding where team leaders can drop in. It's as close as being done for you as it can get, right? Like the goal is, hey, you just film a couple videos and drop it in here, adopt what we say, and your onboarding should be set. You have Mia. Like, how's Mia's training right now?
It's
I know
so
she's
good.
been on the podcast a lot, her and Lauren, without either of us. So they may have just talked about this, but Mia's doing Rise all the time and just killing it, right?
Yeah, she's killing Rise, and she just revamped Rise, launching another version of it, trimming out the parts that they're not fluff, but they're not they're getting in the way of being so precise throughout the entire week, the 6 weeks, and adding in this layer of so that she can now add in even more accountability, even more reporting, and more. I think the goal was retention in terms of the information they get, retaining it, and then following through after the 6 weeks is done. I mean, her and I just geek out over the agent training and
I know
development.
you guys do.
Love it. So that
I
6 week
know.
is killer. The Rise is killer. We added something called Script Inferno about 6 months ago, where we realized the agents loved our training, but they needed the reps. So they needed the practice and the practice. And we know this because we've been working with some callers to need on the side, a side
Oh
project.
boy, yeah, coming soon.
We can't spill the beans on this, but we know,
Yes.
the ultimate sales machine, Chet Holmes, would say the same thing.
Good
We're
book.
not going to work on 7,000 things. We're working on 7 things 7,000 times. So Script Inferno is role play, but every week it's some different aspect of the business, and we can go really, really, really deep, like a segment of it. A segment
I
of
like that.
showing down the
Sure.
entire bite-sized chunks. And Jessica Ball,
And coach?
after Script Inferno, she's like, "This is the best. It's the best."
Oh, don't you love to hear that?
Oh yeah, I love it. So that Script Inferno is awesome, and then we do the
You should post that text to Facebook, dude. What's wrong with you? Come on.
chat and get the perfect post.
Yes. Well, not
So
chat.
come
Yeah.
out,
Let Mia at him.
or you
I'd much
find out
rather
they
have
don't.
it be Mia than me. That's for sure.
That's a post. That's a tweet too.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt. That's a shirt. I'd rather be me than me.
Yes. Good. Yeah. No, it's just been great. Like, seeing everybody grow and hanging out longer. And, I think we're in an exciting time with a lot of unknown. And like the thing that matters is like, there'll be a uptick and we'll be sitting here pretty just ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's where I'm at.
We're always innovating thanks to your leadership there, Suneet. Like, didn't you just drop a bot that can listen to phone calls?
Yeah. Well, recruiting calls only. Right.
Yeah.
I'm always innovating. It's kind of madness. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you have a bot. Basically, you can build a bot that listens to your phone calls, but also gives you a scorecard based on that. Like they can rate certain.
Yes.
I think Zillow Flex has been doing something similar, or Zillow Premier, where they would listen to your phone calls.
Yeah. They have for
and
years. We were part of the beta.
you could
Yeah.
talk to them,
Yeah.
and they would listen to, did the agent say, "Do you want to meet?"
Yep.
or you meet, or the variations of appointment. Did they go for an appointment? AI can tell you that.
Well, I mean, dude, White Lopo has it. There's another product called Shiloh. So we have all of our calls through Follow Bus are run through AI.
Okay.
All of them.
So you because it's
I
usually not
have the
that
data. Yeah.
you have the data, and the lack of performance is usually a lack of very specific questions or going for the appointment, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that like on my team specifically, we've overcome that because I'm built the F out with ISAs. So I don't have to worry about teaching all that. And there is a cost for that comes directly out of my pocket for everyone thinking, oh, Suneet's got all these ISAs. Yeah, I spend all the money for the ISAs.
mhm.
I get it twisted. So, but it's just good to hear like follow up and other stuff, right? And it's good to hear the ISAs. Every day when the ISAs come in, they got to do AI voice calls for 30 minutes
Is
with
that
AI
right?
role play.
The
I mean,
AI role.
I sent you my recruiting bot,
I
right?
know.
Yeah. So the AI stuff is getting fun. Recruiting bots, I don't think that they're legal. I was talking to another big recruiter in real estate today. He goes, "Oh, I got a sick bot." I was like, "Bro, I don't think it's legal." So if you're out there getting recruiting calls from me in Sacramento, it's never going to be a bot, at least until I know it's legal.
Right.
FYI, if that's your big plan, you better search your local laws too.
Yeah. Yeah. The You might be the first one to do it, and you might be the last one. you you don't want to be the first or the last. So it,
I've already been down that road and a couple other things, so I'm okay. I'll just take the safe road.
yeah. There's there's first innovators like advantage. Like you can get an advantage, but only if you have a really long big moat. Like, but as soon as someone figures out it's working, they can easily replicate. Especially with AI, it's easily
Yeah, it's so
replicatable.
easy.
Yeah, yeah. You're not. Nobody in real estate is going to own some exclusive AI technology that no one else can get. We're just
Nope.
not. We're talking $1 trillion companies, right? Like governments
Yes.
are building AI infrastructure. So I don't think we're going to be disrupting the AI industry. But
No, and I'm not trying to, but I could build a bunch of cool tools for my clients and friends, right?
well, I was just talking to somebody that is still using paper, like ledgers, and they're interested in Reside because we have a CFO, Curtis Fry,
A paper
CPA,
ledger for their reconciliation? Get
counting.
the hell out of here.
Yeah,
No, they're
yeah,
not.
like paper
So do they
receipts,
really?
paper receipts. Yeah, paper receipts. Yeah.
Madness.
And I was like, this is awesome. And I was like, you probably have a system that works really, really well. But it takes time. It takes time, and it's a hassle. And if nothing else, we're going to take on the bookkeeping for you at Reside and reconcile and properly tag or title every expense for you, and it's going to save you, and we can automate it for you. Right? We can tie into your bank accounts.
Big value.
We have certified QuickBooks bookkeepers on staff.
Yep, we have very educated crew. They know what they're working on my books. How about you?
They're working on my books. I mean, can you believe this? We have a bookkeeping, basically an accounting firm, a bookkeeping firm at
We do.
Reside.
We have a bookkeeping firm.
Yep,
I told
absolutely.
someone that the other day. We legitimately have a bookkeeping firm.
Yeah,
I mean, on accident, I guess, but
on
we have one.
accident.
I do my own payroll. How
Yeah,
about you?
yeah, yeah. I do. Actually, no, we do it through Reside.
Mm.
We do it through Reside. Yeah, we do it through Reside, and it's fantastic. I mean, I it's that's why we're a platform. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We're growing at one team leader a week on average joins the
Yeah.
platform at this
Which is
point.
about all we could really handle. Like right now, like there's some weeks where it's averaged out to be more that week, but one a week is a good rate. And I know we have teams waiting to sign up. So one a week is going good.
One week's really, really good. And we are going to have an event soon, a private event. It's coming up. And, and
Tahoe in September.
Tahoe's in September. Always looking forward to that flagship.
Tickets just went on sale, I think. The 22nd, maybe? That sounds right.
Well, what are teams that are winning doing? on a consistent basis. We have recruiting, of course.
I mean, recruiting, being marketers, staying loud.
Are they producing themselves? Are team leaders producing that you're coaching and working with?
I think many are, dude.
Oh, yeah, I was just talking to somebody recently, and they were like, "Nick, I went on 3 listing appointments on Saturday. Maybe I should do that more often."
How many escrows do you have right now?
Closed or pending?
No, just you yourself pending.
0.
Oh, okay. 0.
Don't produce, no.
Same. 0.
Yeah, 0. 0. I like 0. So don't, like,
Yeah.
do as I say, not as I do.
Yes, you guys, like Nick and I do multiple other things. Getting out of production is not a merit badge. It doesn't mean that we don't work.
We
Like,
work.
don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
Right? Getting out of production is not a merit badge.
In order to get out of production, what does your 3-legged stool need to look like? Does that make sense? Like,
how much money do you need to have in the bank is the better question. A lot.
All right. Well, how much money do you need in the bank? Do you need 3 months, 6 months of reserves of?
Oh, thinking of reserves? I don't know.
Capital?
Well, more? I guess you just want 3 months business and 6 months personal.
Yeah.
Bare minimum.
Safe. That's minimum.
Bare minimum.
And I wouldn't like that.
No, me neither.
I wouldn't personally do
that's that's not enough, honestly, for me.
No, because the seasonality in my business too. I can go.
I would have a year of personal, and 6 months of business.
You guys heard it from Suneet, and I'm with him. A year of personal. That has to be there, and then you need at least.
That has to be there.
Then you need 6 months of your fixed costs, your fixed You can always adjust marketing. If times get tough, you can cut marketing, right? If times get tough, you can cut a little overhead, not a lot.
You can't cut people. That's the thing. I mean, maybe 6 months business is long too. Maybe it's 3 months business, but
minimum 3 months, but 12 months of personal. And we see people struggle and get stressed. And when they get stressed and anxiety, they make bad decisions. They get behind and they overspend to try to get themselves out. They're like at the casino, they're losing at the casino, and they go back to the ATM instead of going their ass home.
Sure. I'm going to buy more leads.
Yeah, exactly. And we see that, right? We see people buy more and they're hurting. They're not even doing what they need to do with what they got. And then the other way is
there is sacrifice required in growth. Are you trying to grow, or are you trying to save money right now? Right? If you're trying to grow, then you're going to spend more money.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's just the equation. Like,
yeah. Well, I was talking to one of my mentors one time about personal reserves, and I said a year personal. He said 10. For him, it's 10 years.
Yeah, well,
he said for him it's 10 years. That's his goal. 10 years of personal reserves. He goes, next time there's
you got that.
Well,
I do.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I have the 10-year personal reserves where you're playing. When you're playing Monopoly and you get behind, and you got to start selling stuff. I could start selling stuff. What value of Park Place on the back of the card? He said 10 years. He wants to make it through a recession or depression. Like if the depression comes, he wants to make it through it. Like 10 years.
Smart. Me too. Yeah.
Sleeps like a baby. Sleeps like
10 years. I like that.
Well, I was talking to somebody that was looking to get a loan, right? They wanted to get a loan so they could buy leads and grow their business.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, really? And you don't hear this very often in real estate. And I said, well, how about you self-fund it? They go, I don't have the money. I go, no, self-make it. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, how much do you make if you list a home and sell it? He said, 12 grand. I said, okay. And how big of a loan do you want? He said, 120 grand. I said, so you're telling me all you need to do is list and sell 10 homes and you made your loan? He goes, oh, I never thought of it that way. I go, yeah. So maybe just list homes. Why don't you just pick up the phone and call because they were spending so much time applying to the loan.
Oh, God.
Because you just don't get the money. You have to do the effort to get the loan. There's effort and energy to get the loan. And there's costs. You're not going to just get a loan. They're going to charge you to get the loan. And then you have to pay interest on the loan.
Yeah, and the interest is high.
And
Interest is high and all that. People don't think about that and then just dig themselves deeper. Your interest rate is too high, except for your house, it's out of control. But call your credit card company and get a better rate.
It totally
right? $100.
$100 a month for a dialer. How much does it cost to get
dialer?
How much does it cost to get neighborhood phone numbers?
Yeah, probably $60 a month, probably.
Yeah, how much does it cost to get phone numbers for the last 12 months of expired FSBOs and withdrawal?
Another 100. You're at $250 a month. Yep.
Yes. So how much does it cost to get a nice little headset with a microphone?
But that's hard, Nick. But that's hard. That means I have to work.
But it's like, real estate's still that tree that has fruit on it. You just have to go and pick it. You just have to choose. You have to get your ladder out there. You got to get up there and go get it.
One of the only opportunities that we have like that in life.
Now, someone else might already have a ladder up in your apple tree, and you got to knock them off, and you might have to compete a little bit. There's a little battle up there, but
you may got to have a couple of skills in your pocket, or at least know 2 USPs.
For those listeners, what's a USP?
Yeah, just at least have 2 unique sales propositions, one for sellers and one for buyers. Just have one each. If every agent ever hears that, and if you want to know what they are, send me a DM on Instagram and I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, your next team meeting, what you do is you get a whiteboard and you write the USP for the seller. One USP.
Yep, I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I guarantee you go to your sales team and go, what's our USP for buyers? They go, trust, good communication. No, wrong. What's our unique seller proposition for sellers? Accurate pricing. Wrong.
Accurate pricing. Did you really hear that? I would have lost it.
I would have lost it. It's like agents spend so much time on their CMAs for accurate price. I really pride myself in how accurate my pricing is.
I know. Dude, yes, I don't. But I'm not an agent, so hey.
I love talking to Suneet about agent training. He thinks it's hilarious.
Yes, because Nick's the best, I think, at it. Because Nick gets it. He's done more real estate than most people.
I talked to someone recently that had 14,000 past clients.
Oh, that's a lot. Do they have a bunch of REO?
With 2 agents.
Big old REO business or something?
Licensed in 1976. Been crushing it since the 70s.
Older than us. Older than me.
100 deals a year, basically, just crushing. Listings only. Yeah.
Listings only. You got to list to last. Okay. Well, this was a good episode.
Thanks, Suneet.
Yeah, good job.
Now I got to get back to my tomahawk steak.
Yeah, good. Enjoy that tomahawk. I don't know where they all went to the store. But for everyone out there listening, thanks for catching up with Nick and I. Like I said, just kind of a catch up impromptu episode. Really appreciate all the support, all the great teams, the people that we work with. And we got a lot of great stuff coming. Stay tuned. I have a webinar. The recording of this is June 9th. I have a webinar, recruiting webinar on June 19th. If this is posted after that, I'll make sure that the team leaves the link to the webinar in the show notes so you guys can see it. It'll be a good one. And just make sure you're signed up on resideplatform.com, suneetagrawal.com. If you like this episode, click you liked it, share it with a friend, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Reside podcast platform.